Hey, hello, and welcome to the Fool's Journey. Welcome back to the Fool's Journey, I should say.
Hey,
my name is Michael Zinn. This is Brian Lar, the Wizard of Odd.
Wizard of Odd, keyword odd.
And we are on episode number 3 of the Fool's Journey. This is awesome. We have taken a journey into understanding energy reading with a master, a mystic, and a shaman, Brian Lar, who's been studying for over 40 years and has this amazing deck that we've been exploring. And here we are. How are you doing today, Brian?
Hey, I am having a blast. I can't believe we're here back again. We're still we still haven't broken anything. So far, so good.
What's amazing is how fast it happens. You get back to the next week, and it's like,
I know.
Like, oh my God, we're here again, and
exactly.
It's a reminder that life keeps going, and you gotta keep showing up. We talked about that last week, right?
And enjoying those because they go by really freaking fast, man.
Yeah.
You know,
that's what I love about these broadcasts that I've created. It's like it gives me time to look forward to something each week and then sit down and like be in that moment for that hour or so. And now I've got this one. I've got the live stream of consciousness. It's really going awesome.
Well, it's really great to be connected with some like-minded people too.
Oh,
yeah. And it's just like, I know you guys like aren't in really immediate physical vicinity, but I'm so connected to the energy, and it's like,
absolutely.
It's a really cool way. I can get really hermit-like, and man, I'll go days and not really talk to anybody.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, this like, humanity.
You're connected. It's
awesome.
And that's what the live stream. That's what we talk about on the live stream. The energy exchange. What life is about, an energy exchange, and it's like it really is. This is. Again, and I've said it before, this broadcast and the other one, they're intentional energy exchanges. You know what I mean? We've created them to intentionally have these conversations and do the thing. So we've showed up. Let's get it going. What are we doing?
And to that mindset, we're going to be talking about the Magus card today, which is there are 3 aspects of that in my particular deck: the body, mind, and spirit. And we're going to be taking those apart through an energy mindset. And we also have a really special guest tonight who I'd like to introduce. She's a really dear friend of mine. I love her very much. We connected about 4 or 5 years ago. She has a really amazing tarot show on YouTube herself, and has been doing it for a very long time. I'd strongly encourage everyone to go scope that out, because it's like she does some really some readings and some skews on things that are really different and have really been thought-provoking for me. So strongly encourage you to go through that. And we're going to introduce her tonight and say hi. I hope to be able to entice her back on a semi-regular basis and have her input. And we're talking about the Magus card today, which is kind of like the ultimate archetype male energy. And next week we'll be talking about the priestess, which is the archetype female energy. And I can't think of anyone better to put that forth and have Car. Awesome. And she's graciously accepted coming on next week and awesome. Contributing. So I'm really happy. Let's introduce her.
Yeah, well, why don't you introduce her? You already started.
Well, where is she? How do I get her? Yeah. There you are.
Brian, that was intense. Thank you so much, though. Thank you guys for having me on your show, and I'm really excited to see how this all turns out and what this rolls into. And I'm used to being on this side. Like, I'm usually in Michael's chair,
You've had me on your show. Like, that was kind of our first connection on that. So I'm glad to be able to turn the tables on you and make you uncomfortable in the hot seat. It's really cool. Car and I met through the cards. Curiously enough, she sent me a message one day that did you see those on Eclectic Tarot? Or I can't remember exactly
where I saw them, but I saw them somewhere online, and I thought I have to have these cards. And then I went on your webpage, and I looked at all the images, and I went on your Facebook page. No, I think your Facebook page first, and there you had all the images up, and I was like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And I loved everything, like the information you had on them, without making it seem simplistic, like.
Right. So that was a really cool way to connect, and to have somebody, when I have a funny story, if you don't mind me telling. It's like when Car got the decks the very first day, she sends me an email going, "Oh my God, what's up with these decks? These things are alive."
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, man, and it's so awesome for I put a lot of juice in those cards, and for someone to actually respond to that, it was great. Really, really.
It's got to be. Yeah, it's got to be amazing. It's got to be.
Yeah.
Just fix that background.
So, how are you enjoying living down in Mexico?
I love it. Yeah. I absolutely love it. It was the perfect place to ride out the last 2 crazy years that we've gone through.
Yeah.
And it's still the perfect place to be.
So yeah, we were talking about that before the show. So why don't you tell our viewers give us the synopsis that you gave us, because that was a really beautiful description, the name of the town, and then the whole kind of
okay. Well, I live in a town about 3 hours north of Mexico City. It's called San Miguel de Allende, and it's a UNESCO heritage site, and it's absolutely stunningly beautiful. It looks like a fairy tale town plucked. Actually, it's in Once Upon a Time in Mexico, in that movie.
Oh wow! I know.
Yeah. And
awesome.
it's really, it has an amazing art institute. It's full of artists, writers, all
and
kinds
you said
of
it's consistently voted the best place on the planet.
The best place to live, yeah.
On the planet.
This tiny little town.
That's so amazing. We have J-Lo out there saying it's an amazing deck. J-Lo, what's happening?
Hey.
Hi, J-Lo.
We got Jill saying hi to Carl.
Hi, Jilly.
And that's awesome, man. It sounds beautiful. We've got.
So is anybody out there right now? I know a couple people got decks last week. I know today being Labor Day, you might not have actually received them yet. But anybody out there that has gotten their cards yet? No.
I know Jill. It takes a little while. Sometimes there's a delay, but I know Jill. She was with us last week. She got her cards.
Well, I'm gonna harass Jill, make sure she's ready to fire him up at the end of the thing. And we have a little 3-card. We did the deck blessing and opened them up. We're kind of like, this is a mindset not so much about tarot readings as much as it is exposing people to that and making that accessible to them. And just kind of like every week taking a single card, kind of delving into that, reviewing back on the cards for them. Yeah. So you kind of get a row of how they work. And the whole Fool's Journey thing is what an amazing little initiation the major arcana are, from the Fool all the way through. Each one of those is a lesson connected to the others, building on the rest of them, and it's really kind of a great life lesson thing to get onto. So this is really
what a blessing for you to gift us with your knowledge, because it's not like you're sitting on nothing,
Yeah, absolutely. It's been amazing. It's been so amazing. Yeah. J-Lo's out there. She says, I have mine, the original and the anniversary deck.
You are the best, J-Lo. I'm so happy to see you, man. She and I did some stuff together right as I was in maximum chaos, my world blowing up, man. She was so patient, stuck with me, and all right. Yeah, she'll forever be on my OU list.
That's awesome. So I had a good pull earlier today. I was just getting my cards ready and kind of shuffling them, and 2 cards popped out.
Awesome. Always pay attention to that.
Yeah. So I figured that was an unintentional pull. And it was the Hermit of Trumps. Am I saying that right?
Right.
And the 6 of Wands.
Excellent.
And okay. I read it together, and I really thought it was perfect.
It's totally perfect, especially for tonight's show, right, Car, with the Magus? It's all about magic, and the hermit is not so much about magic and going out, but the inner journey and finding your own inner light. And then at some point, your light is glowing so brightly that other people are attracted to that. Mm-hmm. And the 6 of Wands is Success.
Yeah, totally.
And it's perfect because, like you said, we're in retrograde season, right? So there are 9 planets going retrograde, and you pulling like that inner journey with the hermit. Like that's perfect.
Really great.
Totally. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. It definitely seemed appropriate. So I also, like Brian, I figured out, I did have the cards. I created some graphics. We're going to be going through the Magus cards, so I do have them here.
Awesome.
I didn't take into account that we were going to be 3, so it's covering card space right now. But that's okay, because I did figure out an alternative way, which gave me a little more leeway, which was to add it to the stream like this.
That's perfect.
Wow.
And then this way I can also hold on, let me add it back to the stream. This way I can actually also zoom into it.
That's really super perfect.
Yeah, so I just want people to understand that the deck comes with this amazing key card, and you can see how much information is on each card. We were talking about that last week. We're
going to go a little piece by piece tonight. We're going to, when we get to the Magus of the mind and we start talking about constructs and programming and making plans, we're going to get into doing sigils and like a really elemental sigil like method, which is awesome. And it's really cool on the card to have the planetary square on that. People ask me, what's that square for, man?
Yeah, let's start. Tell me, I didn't see on the cards. I knew from our conversation in my notes that there was the Magus of the body and the spirit.
Okay, if you look right down here on the left-hand side.
Okay, so
there's a gold square.
Okay, so is that the violet Magus? I call them the violet, the blue, and the white Magus.
This is the blue to me.
The blue, okay.
Yeah. So this is the gray to me.
Okay.
The squares on all of them, isn't it?
And that's the purple to me.
Okay.
Yes, it is. And I'm going to explain why that is in just a second. Go ahead, Mike.
Which one do you want to go
I
through?
want to start with the body. It's always the body, mind, and spirit.
Okay.
And there's a reason for that, which will become apparent. The blue, this is the body.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So let's share that one and bring it up. Boom, there we go. Let me make it a little bit bigger. Hold on one second. Which one am I dealing with here? Sorry, I got a lot of windows going. There we go. So
yeah, it's pretty complicated, but dude, you're getting around in there really great. Pretty awesome.
No, it's good. Okay, so okay, what we're looking at.
Right. So you're looking at that figure of the pointed hat and kind of quintessential version of the Magus, and he's like sort of looking down into this 4, like almost an X, right? That's going off in 4 different directions. That represents all of the elements and your access to your elemental abilities and to your energy projective skills. The thing about the Magus, it's kind of hard to talk about the Magus without also talking about the priestess, because they're sort of the archetype of, the Magus is the archetype of the male, of masculine energy, and the priestess is the archetype of feminine energy, and the two of them are like partners. They're like one, 2 that make a third that's a whole. And but with this particular zone, and the reason that there are 3 Magus cards is that there are 3 elements of different kinds of Mercury, and that's why I'm using the Mercury planetary square on that. That's also the planet that's associated with this card, and that carries through the whole deck. It'll end up at the last 3 top pentacles of the 10 of Pentacles, which is like the woohoo at the end of the deck. So we'll review that back later. I won't get off into that right now. But
okay.
The most intense thing about the Magus of the body is it's about things in the material world and being able to channel down energies and focus your energies into the actual physical world. So we're going to do a little practical exercise. So it'll take just a few minutes, awesome. and start to access our personal energy. So I'd like everybody to just take kind of 3 really deep breaths and get really centered. With each breath, just let it out, get very relaxed and centered. So let it all go as much as you can. and then see inside yourself in like your solar plexus, which is right in the center of your abdomen, and start pulling all of the energy in your body into that one specific point in your energy field. And you're just pulling that, and you keep doing that for a bit. You know, when you're first starting, you know, you might spend 10, 15 minutes doing that, you know, because the whole point of this is to start giving you access to your personal energy, which then can be programmed to work in the real world for you in some really miraculous, cool ways. So once you start getting that ball together, you just keep building it and building it and building it, and you can pull outside yourself and pull more energy into you, and you just keep filling up that ball until you've got this compact star in the middle of your solar plexus. Okay? And then the very first exercise with that is to take that ball and raise it up your chakras, up to your shoulders, and move it all the way to your left hand, so that all of the energy in your body is filling up your left hand. What's really fun is when I get to do this with people live and they're really clicked into it. We've spent some time generating some significant energy. When they start to like do that, I see them leaning to the left, like it has a little weight to it. That's when I know they're on it. Yeah, like that. So then once you start to be able to like move that around to your one side, then you move it over to your other hand, down to your feet, and just practice for a while. No rush to this. You know, if you just make that part of your everyday juice, you'll notice that just gathering that energy with no other thing that you do with it makes you feel way more alive. It makes you younger. It's the energy that replenishes your cells and rejuvenates your organs and your physical body. And you can live for a long, 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 long time if you not just take care of your physical, but your energy as well. Okay, so that's the first step in what the Magus of the body will give to you. And that exercise is like the little letter A in the alphabet that then we'll build on as this goes through, and,
awesome.
And build a really nice vocabulary of energy work.
Awesome. We have Deb out there saying hello. Deb is new, saying hello. I don't think she was here last week.
Hi, Deb. Anything to add to that, Carl?
I know your classes.
Yes. Okay. All right. So once you achieve your connection to your abilities inside. By the way, just so you have my perspective on this, that energy inside you isn't that part of you is a piece of God. And I treat that with reverence.
So like, would that be considered chi? Chi?
That is chi. Yeah. But bigger than that, that's your own personal piece of and connection to the whole.
So the exercise, just so I can kind of bring this to, you know, simpler terms, even though that was very simple, is really just to kind of conjure energy, feel it inside yourself, and then recognize your ability to move it around.
The whole point of it is to be able to access it and actually get it to do things instantly with your intent. So that when you tell it to, I need this energy to go here, it goes there, because that's just what it does. Great. Now. Awesome. It learns just like AI.
Yeah, it's great. Even more so, even better than AI.
We'll have that story at a later date for both of you. We'll all have a good laugh on that. All right, so accessing your personal energy, super important first step. Once you have all of your abilities to access your energy, now you need to start planning what to do with it, and that's where the Magus of the mind comes in. The Magus of the, well, Mercury just in general is it's about systems and plans, like music, like art, like science, like anything that is systems, plans, information, organization. That's all about Mercury. And curiously, I mentioned music, but the planet Mercury has an orbit of 88 days, which is exactly the number of keys on the piano.
I think you did mention that, I think, last time. Which one is the next one color wise? Because I don't.
The gray one. The gray one.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Because I don't see them.
There we go. I just got to find my tilt. I'm almost getting there. I'm so dyslexic anyway, man, that this, like, trying to look at it on the screen just really.
There we go. These are freaking so beautiful, by the way, Brian. I mean,
thank you very much.
I meant to say that on the last one, like, the descriptions and then the visuals are it's just so brilliant.
You know what's really fun about these is that, like even tonight, as I was sitting here preparing what I was going to say, I find new stuff in it. Yeah. It's like they just offer themselves to connecting with your emotional and intellectual moment, and being able to, like, really take you there. And sometimes, depending on where you're at when you look at them, you're going to see completely different things. And they're
so powerful.
Yeah, after tens of thousands of times seeing them, to still be finding new stuff. It's kind of crazy. So one of the things I've always really loved about this is if you start at the very bottom, there's kind of like little winged scenario down there. And then each step, right at the very bottom. It's a little fuzzy on that, but yeah, very good. And then that gets, like, builds in these layers up the scale all the way to the top of that. And then the very center of this, which I just find really crazy, is kind of a Masonic symbol. And when you're looking at it small, it's almost a pentagram, which is really amazing, because we're dealing with the elements. And the elements, it's really 5 elements. We talk about fire, water, air, and earth. Those are the active elements. But the main element that binds all of this together is the 5th element, which is spirit. So look at this. Every element of this talks about that. So one of the things that really comes out of this card is the ability to see what to do, have the ability to plan, have the ability to really focus on what's important in a situation, and construct a ritual and a plan to follow through with that, and to make that actually happen in the real world.
Process a situation.
Exactly. So one of the best ways to do that is with sigil construction. And sigil construction is, did you happen to get that page I sent you earlier?
Hold on. I'm going to put that one up. And this is great. I'm so happy that you started talking about this.
Ever since you taught me how to do sigils in those classes that we did a couple of years ago, it's like
they work so good.
They work so well.
They just help you get your focus down to, like, that laser point that you need to make it, like, bust through, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so
this is the little, on the corner of each card you have this little grid, and that's what we're talking about.
Yes,
so
exactly.
For people who are playing along at home.
Okay, so the way that you construct a sigil, I would suggest this is the simplest version to do that. So you need some kind of plan. It needs to happen pretty fast. It needs to be really precise. So, I need $500 by Thursday. So you write this really specific, singly focused thought down, and then you go back through that sentence and you cross out all the letters that duplicate each other. Like, if there's more than one H, you cross out every single H. If there's more than one A, you cross out all of those letters. And you go through the whole sentence until it's distilled down, and the only thing that are left are the letters that were single, okay? Which is usually, it depends on how long your sentence is. That can be 3 or 4. That can be 2. That can be, 15. At times. I like mine to be That's less than 10 for sure, and more like in the 4 or 5, 6 kind of area.
Okay.
Just the process of learning to, like, at the end of that sentence, you need to look back on that. Like, is that exactly what I need? And you can just, like, since it has to be so, it's kind of like advertising, what's the point, what's the point that moves somebody, and that's always really simple and crisp and absolutely without diffusion, so just that process of learning to do that for yourself helps you focus and become clearer in just your everyday life and your communications with people.
Okay, so I'm curious as to, and forgive me because again I'm just very new to this. So
yes,
what is the significance of that? Like when you're
we're not done yet. We're not done yet.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So now you've got the say 4 letters.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. See the little chart right under the squares at the left, right above the body copy? Yes. Mm-hmm. That's the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's the basis of numerology. And under that are Pythagorean numerology. And underneath that are the letters of the alphabet. And in each of those vertical columns, those letters relate to that number. So you would take the 4 letters that remain, and in the sigils in the square, you would go to that number, start a little square, draw the line to the next number, draw the line to the next number, draw the line to the next number, and that's your sigil. And that shape is the sigil. That's the graphic condensation of that intent, of that piece of intent. Pretty cool. They work really fast, and that is the basis of doing programmed constructs, which is a whole mess of those things for a really large, complicated scenario that needs to happen and take place over months or even a year or two. Those things are constructs of many different sigils, all of which are singularly focused to do one function. And then that construct is run by a controlling sigil that then you feed energy to and keep it going. It gets really complicated, but super fun and super effective. And this really simple way to do this is a great way to start utilizing. Like if you do a reading and this card comes up and you see that planetary square, well, maybe you need to be doing some plan for that part of the reading or some part of that reading, depending on where the card shows up, right?
Gotcha.
Any questions on that, Miguel?
No, that was great. That was awesome.
Okay.
I mean, I guess so again, I'm processing so much here. So I understand how the numerology works in representing the numbers and the letters that you've eliminated. Right. I guess my question was more like, what is it, the meaning of taking a sentence that you write that's your intention and then eliminating the letters that are duplicates? Like, what's because
as you're doing that, it's like who is it, Rodin? It's like I take a big block of stone and I remove everything that doesn't belong, and then that's when all of that has been removed, that's the purest form of that expression and that intent. Interesting. Okay. And that's the point. And the whole way that you can actually, whether you call it magic or positive thinking or any way you want to sculpt that, you're moving energy to do something for you, and being able to, first of all, distill what you actually need. Like some people have a really hard time just writing the sentence because they want to it's a compound sentence, it's a paragraph, it's a half a page. No. What is it that's most important? And, and that process, which will be something after, you've worked in communications and advertising, that's going to be something you do really well because that comes to you already. But being able to write that out during the process of that, you're making things happen already. Right. And then after that sigil is made, You're going to take that out in the middle of the night. You're going to draw that. Okay, do you see the next page after that?
I don't think I got the next
There
page.
should be 2 pages in that email, my brother.
Hang on a second.
Hey, Car, I really appreciate you hanging with us, and I'd love for you to stay.
I love it.
Okay,
I love it. And I love to hear how you explain everything in detail, because
okay.
Yeah, you know what? Before I try to find that card, I do want to ask. So again, based on this question that I'm trying to figure out, it seems like it's almost like stripping away language and breaking it down more to a vibration.
Vibration and frequency. You got it. Big.
All right, I think I'm getting this stuff. I think I'm getting it.
It's vibration and energy that supersedes culture, language, emotion. It's all about energy, and it's like it has no morality. It only functions in predictable and repeatable,
mathematical. It's mathematical.
Yeah, it is. 3 is always going to be the vibration of 3. Pi is always going to be the vibration of pi. I mean, you could say it's something different, but that's just bullshit.
Yeah, we've had that conversation. It's so funny because I'm like, I don't know if I'm understanding this, and then I say what my thoughts are, and you're like, ding, ding, ding.
Bing, 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 bing. Well, that was perfect. I couldn't have put it any better.
I love it. I don't think I have the second page handy. It's still, I've been going through this that you sent me.
Okay, so one of my favorite, there are as many ways to do this as there are stars in the sky, and what you use to launch it with, should be kind of sculpted to whatever the purpose of your working is. Right. But the thing that I included with you is one of my favorite ways, and that's when you're trying to just make sure a meeting goes well, or like you just want to clear out negative juice around some interaction you're having with somebody, and that's to take a piece, a little white plate, and sprinkle it like with snow with charged sugar, where you just take sugar and you just jack it up with energy and your intent for what you're going to do. And you draw that sigil in the sugar.
So that's great, because I was just going to we do have a couple of questions out there. And Jill says, what do you use the shape for?
Well, here we go. And then once you have the shape drawn in the sugar, then you concentrate and collimate your energy that you've learned to do from the first exercise and pour that into the shape. And you just keep pouring that into the shape until it starts, like for me, it glows blue. And when it's glowing blue, I just kind of grab it with my intent. It's now a piece of energy. It doesn't have any weight or anything else. You grab it with your intent, pull it up in the air, spin that thing around, hence the spinning of the rod, and make that thing just spin until it's going, and then launch it out and forget about it.
That's so great. I don't want to spend too much time going back, but Deb, I think she came in a little late. She says, how do the letters become numbers? How do you get there? So I'm just going to see if I can repeat it. And that
please.
That you write your intention down on a piece of paper, and then you take the letters and eliminate letters that are duplicates. So if there's
but I think what she was asking was, how do you know what number A is?
Oh, we didn't get there yet.
Yeah, we did. That's what the little
No. I'm saying just like you stopped me.
My bad.
Not me. I didn't get there yet.
My bad.
So once you write down the sentence and you eliminate the letters that are duplicates, you're left with a certain amount of letters. And then I'm going to bring it up again, the card that shows how that gets translated. So this is all, you said numerology, the basis of numerology.
Pythagorean numerology. That's correct.
Numerology, right. So hold on, where is that card? I know I have it somewhere. Oh, I think I closed it. Hold on one moment. Open recent. That is the sigils and planetary squares card. Yes, there we go. Window. There we go. All right. Share that one. Sorry, guys. I'm producing and appearing in the show. It's all good. All right.
This is magic to me. I mean, you're like, holy crap! He's just getting around like everywhere, pulling this up, pulling that up.
Right. Okay. So this card comes in the deck, Deb, and these are what the sigils look like. But here in the center, is this chart right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and which numbers correspond to it. It may or may not be blinking on and off just because my computer is doing so many things right now.
Yeah, no, it's doing okay.
And then once you have the numbers, then this is how you're going to get the symbol as well. You're going to
and if you look just to the right where the square is, that's kind of like how you would take those numbers and make the shape, and then that last shape on the right is the shape that you would then draw into the sugar. Awesome. Simple.
So awesome.
And dude, if you're an artist or you enjoy drawing or anything else, how could that be any better?
That's awesome. I love it. And I really love, I think what I'm getting out of this whole thing is the understanding the importance of symbols and how they hold energy. And really that's all they are, is they're there to hold energy for you.
Doesn't this subconscious think in images as well?
That's correct. Absolutely. So, and that's where actual magic, that's where miracles, that's where the things people have said are impossible come from.
Right.
That part of you,
There you
so
go. Awesome.
So you're talking to that really deeper part of you to make that happen.
Awesome. This is great.
Okay. Anything to add to that, Carl? Or we're going to move on to the...
Nope.
All righty.
I do have a question, but it's later on. I think if I asked it now, I'd be right halfway in what you're trying to explain. So I'm just going to wait until you're finished.
Okay. All right. Then the last card is the Magus, the Magus of the Spirit.
Let's bring that puppy up. There we go.
So in the style of teaching that I've been involved with for the past 15 years, your aura is one of the most important things, is the most important thing to understand about your existence, because your physical body is probably less than half of what you really are. Your energy body is the part of you that is interfacing with energy, is bringing energy in, is setting up things that will happen in the future in your physical body, because that's, things that start as thoughts in your energy field take root there and then grow into your physical body. So I have learned to think of the aura as like your software. Like if your whole existence is your personal computer in very real terms, your aura and your astral body, your light body, is your software. Your physical body is your hardware, and things get fed into that from there. We kind of exist on like 6 bands that go up from your close to your body up to 6 bands. Those bands continue out a long way. As a matter of fact, they probably go out infinitely, although I couldn't say that for a fact. So we really are all really super connected. The thing that happens past the 6 band, when it starts going from the 6, like there's another you that exists at the same moment, that's way more evolved, that vibrates at a frequency that is so far beyond where we're at in this physical reality, that unless you really go to increase your own frequency and brighten yourself up to get the attention from that being, it'll just kind of like, it'll never pay any attention, because it's having its own life, just like you're having your own life right now. Right. And that connection is where truly, that's where magic and like, that's where everything really lies. And that is one of the main things considered with this card, is the connection to that higher spirit, not only to your ally, but then also to, I mean, there are many really ascended, beautiful beings out there to connect with, all the way out to the biggest being, which is God himself. And what an incredible journey that is to go find that, you know.
So Car, I know you said you're a channel, and I know a few channels, and it's interesting because some people channel collective consciousnesses that most people haven't heard of. A friend of mine channels the Amana, which is a feminine spirit, but many people channel what they call the Ascended Masters. Is that you? Do you channel Ascended Masters, or what's your
Oof. I have a little bit
connection?
of a different description of it, in a sense.
Okay.
For me, it's like Brian says, it's all about frequency, right?
Yep.
And vibration, right? So
Yep.
it's like it depends on, I think we're all channels, right?
Yep.
So
Absolutely.
I think it's become this kind of thing where people are, I
finding
channel
their
this,
connection. Yeah, they're
right,
finding their connection to the.
but I think artists channel, I think
Absolutely.
doctors channel, I think
Yep.
whenever you acquire a certain level of how should I put this, comfort and knowledge in whatever it is that you do, then you can open yourself up to receive more information. And it comes by way of your imagination. The imagination is the bridge. And there's a huge difference between imagination and fantasy that people aren't really aware of. But that being said, yeah, I channel various entities on various levels of being. I try to stay within the realm that benefits me in the sense, like nothing too negative or dark.
Sure.
And
Car went to go get the angel cards, and she's channeled all of those cards as well.
Oh wow! So you connected with the angel cards very much, so I guess, right?
Yes.
That's great. That's awesome. So we have J-Lo saying, yes, I've worked with Car, and she is stunning to work with. And we also have.
Thank you.
Rizzy,
hey, Rizzy.
Rizzy, yo, Pearl, what's good?
Yeah, that's my name too. My nickname is Pearl.
Nice. Well, thank you for coming, Rizzy. We appreciate you being here.
Yes, thank you very much.
And that's awesome, Car. Yeah, I can't wait to get to know you more and hear about what you do.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
One of the things, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I've been so excited about this is like I have all of these kind of like segments, like Michael, you and Jesse and your whole like little network of people, and Car and her whole, and they've all been kind of disconnected. There are 2 or 3 others out there too, like my friend Raphael in Vienna, you know. And what's really just super exciting, I was just tripping out on this a minute ago, seeing Car and you in the same room. I'm like, yeah, man, it's like making the connections of the network.
Totally.
It's like,
let's connect all of this energy. Let's connect this energy and the fucking vibration.
Exciting, really, really, really exciting.
Excuse my
Can I ask you that question, Brian? Yeah,
please, absolutely.
Okay, because the way I've been working with your Three Maguses, because it got me confused too, because I was like, I couldn't remember, which one was which.
Right.
And so I finally decided, and intuitively it was correct. I finally decided this is the spiritual one, this is the mental one, and this is the body one. Nice. So in any case, but what I've done is that the spiritual one for me is like intuition, so whenever I pull the Magus, it becomes that Magus of intuition and higher mind. And then the one of our here world, which is this one, right? So that mind. And then it's instinct for me. Like this one is
awesome.
Mind,
yeah.
Instinct. And this one comes out of, because instinct coming out of the body comes out of a fear basis most of the time, right? So this becomes the lower mind for me, or the fear-based mind, and the instinctual reactive mind. And this one is the intuitive in tune mind, like the channel that Michael was referencing, starting to talk about, and that bridge of imagination that I brought in, right? So that's how I work with it. That works for you? Is that what your intention was?
My intent was to send it out and have people like you make it theirs. So the fact that, there are those meanings are my meanings, and I don't know if you've ever been to this site before. Have you ever been to supertarot.uk.co or whatever that is? It's a guy named Paul Barlow.
Well, and we had that up last time.
Yeah. And he's pretty cool in that he focuses on the Thoth deck, and all of his meanings for the pages have his description, but they also have Crowley, they've got Rider-Waite, they've got Etienne, they've got like 5 or 6 Mathers, they've got all these people that were famous readers, and you come to really realize early on for me is that it's not about what the written explanation is. You're teaching your ally that we just talked about a language of symbols, and whatever those symbols are for you and you decide to use, that's what, and you use those all the time and create that, that's what those become, you know.
I'm
so
totally getting that. Yeah,
there are no meanings that are stuck on it.
Yeah,
you know?
It seems like Jill has given her Magis's
she nutshelled it. Exactly.
Thinking intuition.
Yeah,
Totally awesome. And you know what, that's what I'm getting at, that as this goes on, as I get more understanding of the cards, I'll be able to pull a card and right away know, oh, this is this card and this is what it means, and I'll also know how it applies to whatever it is I'm pulling it for.
And the truth of the matter is, and I think Carl will agree with this as well, you know, when you've been doing it long enough that you no longer really even need to think about what the card means, that what the card means is just the beginning. Right. And like, it's like just a door you walk through, and then depending on the energy of the person you're reading for, they start going talking, and you know, you could pull the same card for 20 different people, get a completely different meaning out of it, even though you might start at the original meaning the same in all of those people, which is what's really beautiful.
That's so cool. Yeah, that's so cool. Jill says that's the name of an Osho book.
Yeah, that's funny. Well, that's funny. I've got some really good friends that do a Tibetan bowl meditation every Friday, and I've been participating in that for many months now. I love it. They've been a really great friends, and they're going to come on the show, do some Tibetan bowls on it, and they have an Osho. That group is Osho centered. They really. She lived in Oregon when Osho was out there with the whole like commune thing. It was kind of crazy. She's been doing it a long time. So funny you brought that up. So Jill, why don't you pull some cards? Do a 3-card pull, baby. You want to do that too, Michael?
Yeah, I can pull some cards. I'll do the 3-card pull.
Yeah, I love this part.
Jill said that I think she had pulled this earlier. She was waiting for this, so she pulled the Purple Magus.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, I wish I could react the way Cara's reacting and know what it means right away.
I'm like, what'd you get? That's pretty intense. What'd you get? What'd you pull?
So first I pulled the Queen of Swords.
Okay. Yep.
And then I pulled the...
She's a bitch you don't want to fuck with.
Uh-oh. Is this a 4? This is a 4.
Right.
And then I have
2 swords, very airy. Yeah, lust.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Car, you want to take that one first? You want me to do it? Go ahead.
Go right ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first card was the Queen of Swords. Mm-hmm. She's very first of all, she's lived a pretty intense life, and she's a no bullshit person, man. And she has seen people like, you know, game. She's like, you can't game on her, man. She's like sees through somebody's bullshit in a heartbeat, and that's kind of like the sword that she's cutting through. Any of the swords relate to mental things, plans, being able to really like see things, and it's about the mental sphere of that, which all the swords are. And that's the air element. So then the next element is the next card is the 4 of Swords, and the 4 of Swords is very much about kind of taking a step back after after a bit of a war and recuperating a little bit, recovering, kind of regathering your strength, refocusing. One of the original wider weight decks that I got, it's some guy laying on his back, prone, and, he's a knight that's just been through battle and is kind of beaten up, and he's getting ready. He's just laying there kind of chilling and healing and getting back to normal. So, and with 3 cards, I don't know if you have a particular way that you do the 3 cards card, but I usually do them 2 ways. One is doing like an immediate past, present moment, and then immediate future. But then also, if like you deal with them from an elemental dignity standpoint, you kind of look at all 3 cards and they blend into just 1 card, which, and I like both methods for that. So, but so doing the past, present, future thing, it kind of says that you've kind of been dealing with somebody that was really intense and had some specific ideas and goals, and was not entirely flexible or particularly warm and emotional and connected, kind of distant, maybe a little cold-blooded, not cold-blooded, but just unemotional. And then the next one is the present moment, and that's kind of like where you're at the moment, and just sort of recuperating from that and regathering strength in a way. By the way, just to that note, like I told you last week, it seemed like I was just a little concerned for you because you looked like a little stretched, a little thin, right. and your old you is back today, man. I'm so happy to see that, dude. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Your energy's glowing, your light body's glowing. I was looking at you last week, and one of the ways you can tell somebody's kind of like in not a good place is that you look at their aura, and instead of it just sort of radiating, right, it kind of vibrates like, and like, wow, okay. Time to back off and take a little breather. So that was super cool. And what was the last card? The last card was Lust. Yeah. Okay, so Lust is that's the strength card in a lot of things with the woman and the lion. But my particular Lust card is about the absolute raw primal energy to attack something. It's like when you're a teenager and you gotta have sex. Like, I'm so horny, and you just build up this energy, man. It's just this raw, like, all consuming, all like fire, like intensity about it. And whatever you need to like go get after, that's the kind of approach that you take to that. So once you get up off the floor, man, you're going to be going to get laid.
Awesome. That sounds good. Something to look forward to. Very cool. I love it. I think Jill pulled 3 cards also. She
excellent.
Jump in here. She's got 10 of wealth.
That's 10 of pentacles probably.
Okay.
Yeah, is that the one with the 10 little balls on it? The 10 spheres. Yeah, Prince of Cups and the 3 of Cups. You take this one, Car.
Okay, I was just pulling out his cards. I'm like, because I have a new idea. You know what I'm going to start trying to do?
Go ahead.
I'm going to pull one of the Maguses and see which level of mind I'm working on to see,
awesome.
To add that to the interpretation.
That's
awesome.
Great.
So let me see here. And just give me a second. I'll pull out no, I don't. 10 of Wealth, Prince of Cups, 3 of Cups. Well, I can
take this while you.
No, it's okay. I got it.
Okay.
So
10 of discs. Yeah, 10 of discs.
So working with the spirit mind here, I feel like this is something that you're trying to bring in and manifest is just a better a lifestyle, right? So you're focusing in on creating things for yourself, expanding your understanding, expanding your knowledge, expanding your resources, expanding your abilities. And you're also calling in love, right? But you're also calling in friendships. I feel like you might be hermity. We're all a little hermity right now. So personally, I feel like you're actually extroverted, but you might have been introverted for quite a while, okay? And that the Prince of Cups coming in to let you know that like people are out there that are opening doors to you, right? And they're wanting to connect with you, and people would appreciate your friendship, okay? Because there's this feeling of I don't know if I don't know, but yeah. And so I'm picking up a lot on friendship, possible new beginnings in romantic things, because you're manifesting that. So if you're in an existing relationship, then you might manifest a new chapter within that, or you might bring into someone into your life. But yeah, that's what I'm picking up.
That's why I love her.
So perfect. and as I said last week,
but I love this because sorry, like this is such a new, like this just came spontaneously. If I'd drawn a different Magus, it would have been a different one. It would have been a different line, cool. Right?
That's so cool. Wow. Yeah.
This is awesome, Brian.
Yeah,
every deck needs 3 magicians now.
Kind of fun, right?
Yeah, that was a perfect reading. I know Jill, and that's a very accurate description.
Okay, Jill, hey, go back to those cards again, please.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so the Ten of Pentacles, the Ten of Pentacles is about...
no, it was the 10 of discs, I think she said.
That right, which is Pentacles.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. See,
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, the disc is, I put on the cards because that's shorter. But I always learned Pentacles.
And it's your deck, and you can
and I could do that because I made it. So that card is kind of like the last. It's where you've learned all your lessons. You've acquired this wealth of abundance, not just from a financial standpoint, but that could be property, that could be family, that could be kids, but not just real kids, but like projects and things that you want. And the wonderful thing about that card is that a lot of cards like the 6 of Pentacles, some of the other ones, it's like, yeah, there's some money, but that shit goes away like pretty fast. The 3 of Pentacles is a perfect example of that, man. The 3 is really great, and then you get to the 4 and then 5 and it's gone. So, the thing about the 10 of Pentacles is that it's lasting and abiding wealth. That is the kind of wealth that is so abundant that you have the ability to share it with lots of people and to pass that on to future generations. So it's a really significant card. One I've been pulling a lot myself in the last couple of weeks. So super, super excited about that. The Prince of Cups is like a young... devil may care, like just he's all about feeling and playing and connection. Yeah, exactly. And just exploring it and being young. It's the times in life where you're exploring and just doing things for the first time, and you're finding new pathways and new connections to people, and nothing is serious and everything is fun.
It's also very accurate. That's so great.
And hold on. And the 3 of Cups at the end of that, after the 10 of Pentacles being the very first. So it's like Jill's the center card, more than past, present, future for me. This is like what I'm getting out of this. Like Jill's the center card. Jill's the Prince of Cups. She embodies that mindset and that way of thinking, and that's followed by the 10 of Pentacles, which is lasting and abiding wealth, and the last card is the 3 of Cups, which is a celebration at the dinner where everybody's going, woohoo! Everything came through, man.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So J-Lo said earlier that she had the mind, the devil, and the spirit pop out. And then after we were going, she said, more ironic, she heard, look under the deck, and the hermit was there.
See, I love it, man. Like when the synchronicities start happening and you realize the connection is absolutely real, that it's just not some fantasy or, let's get together. You're actually making magic. That's
I love it. I love it. And Jill says, perfect. By the way, I think Deb said she needs to get these cards. She has cards, so I'm just going to pop up.
Well, Deb, if you want to, if you direct message me, I guess Wyzard of Odd, my Wyzard of Odd, either Facebook or my Wyzard of Odd website, if you leave me a message there, it'll get to me pretty much on a bunch of different platforms, and I'll send you a discount code for
you get a discount for watching the show. That's
really significant discount.
I love it.
Actually.
I love it. That's awesome. And then I did see something. Oh, I wanted to also. I know we didn't really even get to talk to you, Car, about your stuff and what you do, but I did want to just pop up the banner. I know you're going to be here next week with your YouTube channel where people can see who you are. Really, I mean, that might be a bit much, but it's Stars and Pearls is the name of your YouTube channel. So you can just search it on YouTube, but that's the actual URL right there.
Really amazing place. Strongly encourage you to go.
You'll find Brian there too.
I'm going to actually save this and make it a scroll so I can put it on the bottom there. There we go. So we can leave it there and it's not so intrusive. Awesome. This is amazing, Brian.
What a fun show, man.
This has really been a good show. I'm really
thank you so much from the bottom of my heart, man. I really
took
appreciate
notes.
it.
I was like, I learned stuff. I just got it. You know what I mean? Just from getting it.
Dude, I'm like impressed. I don't say that very often. I always want to be the hard taskmaster that's kicking your ass, but Ben, you're picking it up right along.
Yeah, you know, I feel like it's weird. I think I was telling you I resonate with so many modalities of things, and I haven't jumped into anything specific, and I don't feel like, you know, like I resonate with psychic mediums, you know what I mean, talking to the other side, but I don't specifically do it, but I have friends who do it, and I'm like, there's no doubt that they're getting messages and relaying messages, and it's just so amazing to be in that energy.
Let me interrupt you just for a second.
Yeah.
The way Michael and I got connected is he and a friend of his, Jesse Blaze, do a show on Thursday nights called The Live Stream of Consciousness, and they've been doing it for several years now. And you know, they're all kinds of metaphysical people, and I think you would enjoy
to have
it.
you on and talk to you. Yeah, definitely. We'll talk about getting you on that show and just you know giving you some space to tell your story. Yeah. That's what we do.
I used to do live demonstrations of mediumship, and I just recently did one again here in San Miguel, which was really cool. So that could be,
Exciting. So Brian said you're going to come back next week, and you're gonna help us.
She's going to be the priestess, man.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What I did this week for the Magus, she's going to do for the priestess, and we'll have fun taking that apart.
But we have a lot of plans. Brian.
We do. We're talking about. She's been trying to get me to come down and do a workshop down in Mexico forever. So
energy down here.
Kind of thinking about that.
I think you'd like,
That's awesome. Yeah. You know what? I have some friends who have a place in Tulum. I don't know how close that is, but they also say the energy though is really insane down there, and
the energy is intense.
Yeah. So, but I'm really looking forward to seeing you. I forgot what I was saying, Brian. I was in the middle of talking about just everything, a lot of different modalities and things that are happening right now, things that are coming to light, people becoming more in touch with their hearts and their true authentic beings and ways to express that. It's just so amazing to be alive right now, you know, and a part.
Did you guys have that AI conversation? Because what you're saying is making me feel like
okay. I've got to tell you, about 3 or 4 weeks ago, I get this message from Michael, and it's this really beautiful graphic, and he goes, "So AI, man," I like typed in HR Giger, and it was really amazing, and my heart just went through the bottom like of the floor, because it just seemed like everything I'd ever worked for was now just like, nah, not even important. So I worked through that over the weeks in between. He's been doing some more stuff. The images are all really amazing, but lots of other friends have been calling and sending stuff, you know, and a bunch of them don't give you it's an AI thing, and they want you to think that they've now taken up oil painting and doing the most amazing things ever. I'm like, oh, don't even try to kid me with that, you know? So anyway, I get a call from Car on Saturday, I think, and she goes, "Brian, you're going to be so excited. I just did my own deck." Like, I don't know, mid-journey, she goes, "Yeah, how'd you know?" I surrender. It's okay, you know. I surrender. I give it up, man.
They're all, you know. But I sent you a video. I sent you a video which has that
I didn't have a chance to watch that.
Amazing points how it's actually going to further your creativity. It's not
I'd love to believe that. I so would. I'd love to believe that.
I gotta say, you know, like, and yeah, Brian's got a very passionate point of view, but I will say I've been doing a lot of exploration of it, not only checking it out, but also intellectually trying to contemplate it as an artist. And you know, there was a big story that somebody won an art contest.
Oh, dude. Yeah.
Now it was a digital category, and that was kind of part of the argument. Like, hey, what's the difference between this and Photoshop or whatever? I think there's a lot of questions still out there, but there's
that fucking skills in Photoshop to make that image.
Listen, but there's no doubt. Listen, Brian, I had an amazing conversation. I'm a part of a Facebook group that is all artists, right?
Right.
And somebody posted a meme that said art yesterday, and it was like a beautiful painting of a scene, and then it said art today, and it showed 3 big red canvases on the wall, and they were saying, oh, that takes no skill and this and that. And I wasn't going to argue about the skill that it takes to paint it, but the idea that it was art was coming into question, you know, like, oh, how come this is called art when I have to, you know, I have a skill that I built up and I can paint all of these beautiful things, and all this person did, you know, an infant can paint the canvas red. And I'm like, I said, maybe that artist laid down with that brush and spoke mantras as he did each stroke onto the painting, and was intentioning to infuse energy. Like, you don't know the story behind it.
That's the point to me. You just hit it on the head, because whether I think that 3 squares are art or not, somebody took their energy and made that.
That's right.
That's art to me. Whether I connect to that piece of art or not, who knows, you know? But the fact that that's their recycling of their inner world, you know, and how they view the world, and sending that back out for other people to investigate is really cool. And I guess you could make that thing, but you know, it's like if you take out that it matters that you know how to paint, or how to use color, or composition, or any, if none of that matters, and the only thing that matters is an idea of a chair and a thing and an artist style, you know, right, all good, you know. But I don't know that that's. I'm just having a hard time coming to terms with that.
Totally understandable. Totally understandable. But my response was, it was such a great exchange.
It is the future, though, and resistance is fucking futile. So I'm trying to figure out.
It wasn't really even about,
you know.
Yeah, it wasn't. It wasn't really.
We focus on the writing. We focus on the ideas. We focus on what we're bringing through. We focus on the themes. We focus on the issues. Right. We focus on, you know. So it's
right. No, you know what? We're already over our hour. We're putting people to sleep now. This is not what the show is about, but there's a lot of great discussion to be had about humanity and the future and AI and all of that. So I'm sure
I'd love to talk about.
No, we'll definitely get to that stuff. I want to,
because Car's an artist also. She comes with that mindset as well.
Again, I can't wait to get to know her more and have her be a part of this. Whatever it is here we're doing.
All right.
I would just want to thank everybody for coming by and contributing their amazing energy to this journey. I mean, it's been a lot of fun. We're 3 weeks into it. Next week, we've got Car, and it's going to be exciting. And I hope you guys join
us. Chili, thanks.
Thank you guys so much, Michael. It was so great to meet you. Thank you, Brian, for having me on.
Awesome. It's going to be good. Now we got something to look forward to next week. All right. We'll see you guys next week. Peace out.
Peace.